All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Season Over podcast. All right, your all Atlanta sports news podcast, Falcons, Braves, Hawks, NFL, trivia, all the fun things. All right, welcome in. I have my co-host Blaze over here. Blaze, how you doing?
Doing all right.
How's
Can't
your
hate
day?
it.
How's your day at
Eh,
work?
It was all right. A little wet, rainy. Getting ready for this terrible weekend we got here.
Yep. Hope we don't lose power. Am I right?
Huh, I hope not. I can't stand being out of power. I sweat
And
too
you work,
much.
and you work outside, don't you?
You you know it. Hopefully, hopefully everything goes my way. We get Monday off. We'll slumber day.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully. Always love the off days at work. I tell you that.
Telling you. Even though I feel like the off days go by a lot quicker than the busy days, for sure.
Hey, you remember we went to the same high school? You remember that one time where it snowed, right? And we were
I
in my
do,
truck,
yes. Oh my
and
God,
then we
yes.
had all of our other classmates crashing to the sides. Remember that?
Bro, I know we took that ride out of there, and that big, that big ravine that was on the right side, those cars that were down in it. Oh my God, it was. First of all, school should have been canceled because the snow was sticking about an inch already prior to us going to school,
I don't
and
know
then
why I went to school. I was an idiot.
with
I drove it.
within an hour it turned into a blizzard. I mean, literally, it was
Yep.
insane.
Man, you remember I was scared, man. That truck didn't have traction on it, man. We were sliding. I was like, oh, God, we're not going to make it. But we actually surprisingly made it back home. I don't know how I did it, but we made it. I don't know how I did it, but we made it.
Man, it was a sketchy 20-minute ride, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep.
A
All right, you ready
10-minute
to get into
ride
this?
turned into 20. Let's do it.
All right, let's get into this. All right. So first thing we're gonna talk about the Falcons. All right, big hire. Not everybody thinks it's a big hire, but brand new head coach Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson, gone. Jeff Ulbrich, still here to stay. Thank goodness. Our defense, probably the best defense we've probably seen in our young line. So
Yeah, I
glad
gotta
he
say,
stays.
speaking on the defense, man. I mean, like last year, I get 8 and 9, not what we wanted to end the season with. I had very high hopes going into that season. Obviously, the injury with Michael Penix caused us to go down a little bit, but I got to say, Kirk Cousins did his job. We got 4 straight wins at the end of the season. He turned around a losing streak of what? What did we lose? 6 straight.
Yep. Yep.
And I mean, granted, yeah, I know he's not really playing to be here anymore because, in my opinion, I think he's ready to go. He wants to be somewhere that I don't. A hard way of saying it, but I think he wants to be more appreciated. And I think after last year with the whole lying about the injury and completely shitting the bed. Granted, he played great that first beginning of the season. I mean, he broke Matt Ryan's passing record, or single game passing record at 503, 504, something like that.
Yep.
And I mean, against Buccaneers. So I mean, at the end of the day, he could talk all he
Mayfield
wants,
coming for
but
you, buddy.
yeah, Baker, be ready. But yeah, no, I think the defense, man, they showed up. I got the rush percentages I wanted, successful rushes. I mean, James Pierce, 10 sacks as a rookie.
I'm
I mean,
excited
that's
for him.
phenomenal. That's
Excited for
phenomenal.
him.
I'm a Georgia boy. I love me some Jalen Walker,
You
five and
think
a half.
James Pierce gets Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year? I
I
think he
would
should.
love to see him get Rookie of the Year because to me, granted, there were rookies that are in different positions, such as quarterback, running back, stuff like that, that are, well, defensive, obviously, is what you said. But, like, and all in all, I think on the defensive side of things, James Pierce showed out and he did what he was here to do. And that's
Oh
why
yeah,
I like that anger in him. He's an angry dude, and I like to see that anger on the field. Not saying
yep.
hurt anyone, but you got to have that aggro to you. You know what I mean?
When you get those SEC boys, Tennessee and Georgia, they make plays. They play at the big schools. They're going to make plays. All right, especially of course James Pierce, Tennessee, Jalen Walker, Georgia, even Xavier Watts, Notre Dame. That's a big school. So big schools like that, show out. I'm so excited that we got them, and I know everybody's mad because we don't have a first round pick, but you have to look at who we traded for. All right. Again, just because don't have a first round pick, not every first round pick comes out again or does great. Jamarcus Russell, number one. All right. If you're in the 30s, technically that can be kind of a second round guy, to be honest. So I'm not too mad that we don't have a first round pick. Now, it would have been nice. Yeah. But we need to make sure second, third, fourth round that we hit on the guys with the brand new regime. All right. And we'll get to the GM later. You remember the GM, they make decisions too with the head coach and Matt Ryan and stuff. So I want to get your opinion on
Speaking-
Kevin Stefanski, and then I'll get my opinion on it. Right. So first of all, what do you grade? Give me a grade based off the hire. What you think?
So what do you want to go? Like 1 to 5, 1 to 10?
Yeah,
Just like
you like A's, like A, B, C.
I wouldn't give him anything like an A plus or anything like that, but I would definitely say to me, he is a very high B, low A hire. I think Stefanski's got the right head mindset to go into this organization, and I really hope he can come in and turn this whole thing around and get this curse out of Atlanta because I'm sick and tired of the curse. I mean, we've been dealing with it our entire lives. So what, 26 years, 24 years? I mean, we've been dealing with it forever. And I mean, who knows? It might take 17 more years since the last Super Bowl to get back in it. But I think Stefanski, with the right moves and with the right front office help, I think he will most likely be able to get us to a playoff. Maybe not first season. He can get us on a winning record first season, I do believe. But I don't think if we make it to playoffs, great. Will we make it far in playoffs? I don't see that happening, especially with the quarterback situation going on right now, because I still do not feel confident in Michael Penix. I'm not saying he's a terrible pick. I understand the fact, he's a rookie. He's not costing us nothing. Let him develop, see what we get out of him. But let's just say he keeps on the path he's going, and having completely unknown running abilities. I mean, I don't know about you, but 12 starts, I haven't seen anything like what we thought he was going to be. He's supposed to be a dual threat mobile quarterback, or at least that's what I thought we were getting. And it comes to the situation of the fact now we're sitting here, I'm seeing him get dead in the pocket. He looks scared, and I just don't know exactly in that situation, like, is it something mental? Is it he's just afraid to hurt his legs? Because, I mean, he did end up, third ACL tear at the age of 26. I mean, that's a lot of wear and tear on your legs. And I don't know. I don't know if 12 starts and, what's his win-loss record right now with us? He's won 6, 7 games in 12 starts? Less than that, I think. But yeah. And with everything said about him, I mean, like, he's a great player. I think he has, the dog in him, but his legs are tore up, man. It's going to be hard for him to recover. And here's the thing, projected week 5. We don't know that. And if Kirk does leave and we bring in some unknown and he balls out, what would be the point in putting Penix back in if we have somebody, let's just say we go into week 5 and we're 4-0. What's the point in bringing Penix back in when you're on a good roll?
Yeah.
And that's my thought. That's my thought process behind it. Like, if we could, I'd hate to say it, but in my opinion, if we could try and find a way to, trade him out, get a good pickup for him that I think would work out better for the, Stefanski's offense, because you saw him with Shedeur. That doesn't work out. Having a mobile quarterback with all that flash did not work out under Stefanski. And they had their beef. They had their issues. However, they say they don't. I think they did, because of the fact Shedeur was already in a salty place because of the fact he, the whole draft stuff with Ulbricht's son last year. And then he got drafted. The second quarterback they drafted last year, because they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, I think it was, 2nd or 3rd, and then they picked him up in the 5th, right?
Yeah, 5th or 4th or 5th round, I forget.
It was a later round, I know that for sure.
Yes.
And so my thought process behind it is, if we can get the right guy for Stefanski, it's a no-brainer. I think Stefanski could go get us to the playoffs. Hell, get us an 11-6 season. That's all I'm asking for. An 11-6 season, 10-7. Get us a winning record. Like, no, I don't want an 8-9. I don't want a 9-8. I want to be, at this point in time, like I said, I don't think we can. If we can make it past first round of the playoffs and get in, further into playoffs, I'd be happy. But at the same time, there's a lot of great teams right now and a lot of good organizations that are going at it, especially the Seahawks. I think, to me, Clint Kubiak's going to stay because he's got such a good thing going. And that's why I was so high and mighty on Stefanski being our coach, because I think you bring in the right offensive mind. Granted, I'm not a big fan of Tommy Rees. It is what it is.
Talk about him in a second. We'll talk about him in a second.
And, going into the Stefanski hire, I mean, you heard me prior to us hiring Stefanski. I wanted Stefanski and Mike McDaniel at OC. I've been saying that since they both were on the market. I knew everybody was high and mighty on Kubiak, but here's the thing. If we would have waited for Kubiak, there's no telling if he wanted to be here. There's no telling if he would have took the job from us. And
Apparently, there's news that he did not want to be here. You
I
did you
was
see
reading
that?
something about that. I was reading something
Yeah.
about that. He had like something about like the interview didn't go great or something. I don't know. But at the same time, like I said, Stefanski may not have wanted, or not Stefanski, Kubiak may not have wanted to come here, and we still don't know if he's going to leave Seattle. He's got such a good thing going for him. He's a young offensive
Should have won the
coordinator.
Super Bowl.
If he wins a Super Bowl and stays with Seahawks and could do it again next year, all he's doing is
Exactly.
building a rap sheet. He's building a rap sheet, and as a young offensive mind like that, the more knowledge and the more experience he gets under it, he's going to be able to get a better paying head coaching job. And I mean, I'm telling you, he's going to be a top head coach one day. I just don't see him going anywhere this year because he's in such a good spot and place with the Seattle Seahawks. I think he's great. But back on Stefanski, I do think he's a good hire. I think he's going to get us places. Not a lot of people think that. I get he's a little older. I get he's had some losing seasons.
He's only 43. He's only
Yeah,
43.
but
So.
everybody on the radio is like, "Oh, he's old. He ain't done nothing."
Matt
Yada yada
LaFleur's
yada.
older than him. Matt LaFleur is 46.
Dude, how many
LaFleur looks
winning
younger.
seasons? How many winning seasons in the last 25 years has the Browns had? 3.
Remember
How many has he had? 2.
who Matt LaFleur?
No, I'm talking about Stefanski. He brought the Browns to 2 winning
Oh.
seasons out of the last 25 years.
Well, they've had some winning season before, but what I was saying was the double-digit wins. They had
Yeah,
2 of them.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
They were
to me,
last
if you
30
could
years,
scrape
like,
by, if you
at
could
3.
scrape by at 9-8 and be like Mike Tomlin and be like, "Hey, I got winning seasons, cool, whatever." But 9-8 still doesn't prove anything to me because of the fact you can go 9-8, get put out in a wild card game, and then there you are, you're sitting. Same situation we're in right now. We're on the couch, enjoying the playoffs, and granted, yes, do I wish we were in it? Oh yeah, I think if we would have got in it and Michael Penix never would have got hurt in his development, which I need his development to bloom. If his like I said, if we get somebody and they show up and they do their job and we get some wins on the board, even if we're 3-1 going into week 5, we still got more wins than losses at that point. I think we stick with what we got and we just cut the loss with Michael Penix. Like I said, it's not costing us nothing. It wouldn't cost us anything to get rid of him. He's a good trade point because there's other teams that would be interested in him for sure. Now, was I upset when we drafted him? Yes, there was other people on the board that I think we could have got before him, and I think a lot of people felt that way. And we just signed a veteran quarterback for $182 million. Like that, it made no sense to me at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad we did because I mean, like I said, Kirk played great. He's a liar, and he shit the bed. He did shit the bed.
Liar. All right, so you give Kevin Stefanski, like, if we had to put a number on it,
I would give him an A. I would give him an A. Like an 8 out of 10. If we had to put a number on it, I would definitely give him an A.
So I mean, my argument is that Matt Ryan has saved this franchise once he was drafted in 2008, led us to that 11-5 season. We of course lost to the Cardinals that went on not to win the Super Bowl, was in the Super Bowl. All right, I believe he can save the franchise again. Now, I understand that us Falcons fans, we wanted John Harbaugh or Clint Kubiak, which I understand. All right. So when last Saturday, when they announced Kevin Stefanski being hired, we're all kind of down. All right. But it kind of grew on me when they started to kind of give some of the numbers out there. Yes, I only know he won 8 games in the last 2 seasons. But one thing that they're missing, again, 2-time coach of the year. Yes, I know people are like, whatever, that's in the past, whatever. But you have to look at the general manager and the owner of the Browns, who were the ones that first got Deshaun Watson, guaranteed him $260 million, guaranteed. There wasn't just, hey, here's a contract and there's $20 million guaranteed. $260 million guaranteed. Drafted Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. All right.
And on that point,
he apparently had no input into those draft picks or the Deshaun Watson trade. All right. They kind of put him under the bus with that. All right. Again, like we said, he has 2 double-digit wins, and the Browns may have 3 or 4 in the last 30 years. All right. And he's got 2 of them. He's got 2 of them. Now, I would say, is Kevin Stefanski a great coach? No. I think he's a good coach. All right. His schemes around.
What is your idea of a great coach? That's what I want to know. What is your idea of a great coach? Because there's very few of them. I mean, there's very few that I can label great.
Kind of subjective, because great coach. Because most people look at a great coach just by winning, getting to the playoffs, which is true. All right, that
I
makes a great coach, but you also have to have somebody that will win you games, but also in the future that they are set up for the future. Kind of like how the Eagles are. All right, they drafted all those Georgia players, Jalen Carter. All right, all the Georgia players, so they set up for the future. All right, so now their coach, his name is not coming to me right now. Nick Sirianni. Can't think of his name. Thank you. He's set up. He's getting his job saved because their offense coordinator just got Kevin Petula just got fired. All right. So again, I think Kevin Stefanski, if I were to give him a letter, probably a B right now. Now, can he get to an A? Absolutely. Matt Ryan hired him. I believe in Matt Ryan. All right. We just need to see how the coordinators do. All right. Jeff Ulbrich, we know, I think he'll do a fine job, but Tommy Rees is the one that we're a little iffy on. All right. So what are your opinion on Tommy Rees? To me, or go ahead. I'll give my opinion after yours. Good.
For me, Tommy Rees, as long as it's in the certain factor of how I think it's going to be, and I hope it's going to be with Kevin Stefanski calling the plays and him just really acting as an assistant to everything, I think I'll be happy with that, and I think he'll be able to pull that off. Now, if he came in and Stefanski was like, all righty, I'm going to look at the team as a whole, not worry about the whole offensive side of things. I'm giving you the priority over the offense. I haven't seen enough of Tommy Rees to be comfortable with it. I do know when he was with Alabama, a lot of Alabama Crimson Tide fans were very upset with him. I mean, we all watched Jalen Milroe face planting to the ass of his center in the last play of the Michigan game. I mean, come on, that was a terrible play call.
Last play of Nick Saban's career.
Yeah, exactly. It was a terrible play call. I don't think Saban was very happy with Tommy Rees, to be honest with you. That whole season they had strugglesome issues, and with Tommy Rees, coming from where he's coming from, it's the same situation with Kevin Stefanski. They're both coming from a team with a very strong power vacuum that I don't think has any type of actual intelligence behind it. I mean, I get they think they're doing the right thing, but come on, like you said, $260 million on a guaranteed player, that takes out your whole cap for like 7 years. Like,
Yep.
What are you doing? Like, that's why the team hasn't been good. And I think that's why Stefanski hasn't had any luck lately with them, because you can't bring any star players in because all your money's tied into some dude who decided to make bad life decisions. And now the dude is a half-ass quarterback. Like, what do you want?
It's the Browns. It's the Browns. Sorry to if any Cleveland Brown fans watch this, which I wouldn't suspect, or expect. It's Cleveland. Okay, it's the Cleveland Browns.
Speaking of the Cleveland Browns, I don't understand what the hate from Baker Mayfield to Stefanski is. Stefanski got Baker Mayfield to a playoff game.
He got into 2 playoff games.
Exactly. Like, come on. How are you going to act like – well, I understand why he was hurt because he's not a failure with the Browns. I don't think he's a failure.
Well, that's a lot better. He just – whatever.
To me, he wasn't a failure. I think where he's at now, he's a great player. I'd love to have Baker in Atlanta. That's me opinion. I think he's a great player. I think he has the guts. I think he has the courage. Is he a little arrogant?
Yes. Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I mean, has he done it? No. The last person to win one with the Bucs was Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl winner. Come on now.
This one was Brad Johnson with the arm sleeve, with the little elbow guards. Yes. You would think that wouldn't be a quarterback, but it is. All right. Again, Tommy Rees, again, I don't think he'll be calling the play calls. Kevin Stefanski will, but I know he'll be working with Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins, Bijan. All right. Now, you do have your quarterbacks coaches. I'm not sure if it's I think T.J. Yates might still be the team. I need to look that up. Not sure. I wish.
Yates left with Robinson.
Thank God. Thank goodness. T.J. Yates. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Well, speaking of, the whole coaching organization we have, or the coaches we have right now, let's talk about Bill Callahan as well, because I think if Bill Callahan can come in and he can fix the issues with the offensive line, I think Bill Callahan can fix the issues with the offensive line. Granted, do I think we need some pieces? Yes. We have a very, very, very weak right guard. I mean, like, they're coming – they have a lot of successful rushes on that blind side, and I'm not liking it. Especially if you – I mean, McGarry did get injured, so you can't really –
Wilkerson actually had a pretty good year. They got that backed him up. Wilkerson, he actually really did a good job this year. Really surprising. Was he the best? Absolutely not. But bringing a backup right tackle, he was pretty decent. Again, the offense, of course, was a little lacking. I don't know how we lack an offense.
You
Drake London, Bijan, Kyle Pitts.
he came in with no experience with the starting line. He was, he practiced with the backups, so it's not like he was,
That's true.
Granted, during
That's
training camp, I'm sure they were rolling them in. The second strings were practicing with the starters. You got to be ready for that. But at the same time, we took a guy. He came in. He stepped up. He didn't do the greatest, but at least he showed heart, and at least he was able to step up and get something out of what he was given. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like, I don't know. I think Bill Callahan's a great hire. Tommy Reese, I'm iffy about. I'm going to say
Nebraska
like a C.
legend, by the way, Bill Callahan, Nebraska legendary coach. All right, getting the offensive line ready. What I would expect is some changes. I don't think Jake Matthews is probably going to go anywhere. Of course, Lindstrom's not going to go anywhere.
I love Chris
Gary,
Lindstrom, man.
we just signed him, so he's probably not going to go anywhere. Bergeron, not going anywhere. Of course, he's still on his rookie contract, so there's no reason to give that up. But hopefully Bill Callahan can see, hey, maybe this guy's the best, so let's go get another guy. So hopefully that happens. With all three of those that we talked about and Jeff Ulbrich, what 1 out of 10, what do you think the overall coaching staff so far? Of course, not everything's filled out yet, but overall, what do you give the coaching staff?
As
overall?
we stand right now with Callahan, Ulbrich, a couple extra guys that are assisting Ulbrich, I can't name them by name. And then you have Tommy Reese is really my only weak point with this. And like I said, he's only going to be weak if we let him call the plays. As long as Kevin Stefanski takes the lead with the offense, I think we'll be fine. I just do not have a lot of faith in Tommy Reese being the one person for calling plays, at least. Because I think Tommy Reese is a worse version of Zach Robinson, to be honest with you. I really do. That's just me. And, not everybody's going to agree with that. But he hasn't shown me nothing. Obviously, Zach showed up to work with an index card and some plays written in crayon, and we saw that all season. But yeah,
Madden, Pistol. I was so tired of seeing Pistol. Oh my god!
Hopefully it was almost it was almost like, dude, I literally could call you the play and tell you where the ball was going every time the ball got snapped. And 95% of the time, it was to the ground.
The most annoying thing is when Michael Penix, he's lefty, right? Is when he'll hand the ball off on the wrong side, like. That's how the play is. It's not him. So he has to do a 180 to get back to his left side to throw the ball. What are we doing? What are we doing? When you're righty, at least you can go left and right. Lefty's a little bit different. He had to do 180 sometimes. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, Buccaneers, y'all have fun with Zach Robinson, but being a Falcons fan, he'll probably go in there and kill us next year and beat us up. So that's how being a Falcons fan is. Pretty sure that's how I know the Bills feel, probably. Probably some other place, probably some other teams as well. All right. So I'll give it right now, I'll give it a 6.57. So
I was giving it about a 7.5, close to an 8. It's really Tommy Reese dragging it down for me. And like you said, we don't have all the pieces. We don't know who everyone is yet. I'm hoping we get some insight on that come Tuesday, see what Stefanski says. If he could come out and show his confidence and his confidence in what he thinks he can do with the team, it'll give me, a little more confidence behind the team. Now, I hope they kind of go into the scenario during the PC on Tuesday. I'm not saying we will find out, but if they do talk about it, hopefully we get the word that he's going to be calling the offense and Tommy Reese will be more like an assistant in the situation. I would love to see that. But like I said, at this point in time, it's kind of a gray area. We don't know. And we still don't, like you said, we don't have all the pieces. So we don't know. We don't have a wide receivers coach. We fired our wide receivers coach last year, which caused the whole issue with Ray. And I think losing Ray was actually a big loss because after Ray, Drake got hurt. And then who did we have? Casey Washington,
Darnell Mooney, and what's his name? Seals. No, not David Seals.
I don't know about you, but Seals was lighting it up those last one. Huh?
What do you say?
Seals, right? Yeah, Seals. Yeah. He was to me, dude. He looked great at the end of the season. He was making good catches.
He couldn't catch anything. He couldn't even catch cold. All right, he would just drop passes, especially that one Buccaneers game, the Thursday night. Yes, he had a touchdown catch in that game, but my word, he could not catch a ball. He couldn't hold on to nothing. So
speaking of next year, going to the games,
Chris Blair.
we're season ticket holders, and we try to go to every home game for sure. And I don't know, man. I don't feel the electricity you should feel in an NFL stadium. You know what I mean? 90, like most of the games I've been to, it's been most of the visitor crowd. Like, come on, the city wants a good team. The city needs to rise up with the team. The city needs to show support. Stop hating on everything. Granted, yeah,
Hopefully,
we've had a bad 9 seasons. What it
hopefully Kevin
is.
Stefanski can change that. I hope. I don't want to talk about culture because culture we've been talking about for 8 years hasn't done nothing. All right, I want X's and O's. So hopefully Kevin Stefanski can change that. Listen. I didn't really care who the head coach was. I just need a coach that wins. That's all I care about. All right, if it's Kevin Stefanski, all right, if it's your best friend from college, whatever. I just need a coach that will come in and win. Forget the culture. I don't care about the culture right now. I need wins. I need to make the playoffs. And the person that I trust the most to hire the right person was Matt Ryan. All right. Matt Ryan is the greatest Falcon of all time. There's no doubt
I
about
agree
that.
with you on that. I agree with you on that. And anyone who
He
says that,
saved the
that
franchise
he
one time.
isn't,
Now, Julio Jones is close, but Matt Ryan has pretty much saved our franchise, pretty much.
without Matt Ryan, Julio Jones wouldn't have had the career he had, and that's my opinion.
Without Matt Ryan, Roddy White wouldn't have the career he has. All right. So, so we got done with the coaches. Now, there's one person missing that's in the front office, and we need to talk about it because I want to get your opinion on which GM you think we should hire. All right. The main two I've heard is Josh Williams from the 49ers and then Ian Cunningham from the Bears. Now, Josh Williams has been with the 49ers for 15 years. All right. So he's worked close with John Lynch, who's the GM or the president over there. All right. Ian Cunningham has been around Ozzie Newsome, who was the GM or the president. I forget if it was GM or president for the Ravens with their good teams, the one that won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. All right. So I want to get your opinion. Who do you think you want, and who do you think we'll get?
Honestly, I don't know who I want, to be honest with you, and I don't know who we're gonna get. It's a lot of gray area there because, like I said, it's the Falcons organization. We can go completely out of left field and get somebody no one's even talking about, and the odds of that happening is like 60-40. You know what I mean? So you can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, this guy's great. I think he'd be great for our GM position. Again, it comes to the situation. These guys have got to want to come to Atlanta.
Yep.
Granted, if money's involved, cool. They're going to get paid. But you've got to want to come to Atlanta. And a lot of people look at this team like we are cursed. I mean, why would you want to put your time and effort into a team that may not come out and to fruition?
We're going to talk about another team in a second after we get done with the Falcons that feels like they're being cursed right now. Good.
But to me, I think I would take Ian for sure. I think he'd be a better option for us, just with the fact, he is with the Bears right now. And look what the Bears have gotten to. The Bears did make it to the playoffs, and they made it pretty far in the playoffs. Granted, I'm not any fan of the teams that are in the playoffs. And I think, like with the 49ers, great and all, but they have a team. They really do. Granted, they've been injured here and there, and the injuries really hurt them late season for sure. Kittle going out with the Achilles tear, and McCaffrey. To me, McCaffrey hasn't been.
Was that the end of the year? That was a playoff game, right? Yeah, playoff game against the Eagles.
That's what I'm talking about. But he went out late, like in a game.
Okay. He said late in the season. I think it was
no. He went out in the valuable time. You know what I mean? Like he went out at a time that it mattered, and it really did show. I mean, Purdy didn't have his main. To me, Kittle was one of his main guys, and he didn't really have that. And you could kind of see it, the panic in the pocket. You know what I mean? I like to call it like panic at the disco, when the quarterbacks get back there and they don't know what to do. Now, speaking of the Bears, granted it has nothing to do with the general manager. I will say, let's talk on that one throw from Caleb. That throw where he ran back 30-something or 20-something yards and was able to get it to the tight end. Like that was not only. I've never been the biggest Caleb Williams fan, but I will say that took a lot of IQ.
I really disliked the guy, but the way he's played this year, man, they're fun to watch. When the Bears are playing good, they're fun to watch. So.
And I hate to say it. If you actually look at it, man, we had like 11 Falcons players in the playoffs this year, just not with us. Grady Jarrett, Mac Holland, just to name a couple. But yeah, You see what I'm going with? Like plenty of players that have been on our team during Raheem Morris and left this last year. I mean, come on, they made it to the playoffs. Obviously, it's not a skill issue on them; it's a whole team issue, and it's the coaching all involved. The players aren't getting the exact, I would say, almost like not getting taught to play the way they're supposed to play. We're in the big leagues. This isn't something you can just throw in the trash. I mean, granted, we are in what I call a dumpster fire division. We really are. What is great in our division?
Let's say it used to not
Nothing.
be like that. Drew
It used to
Brees,
not.
Cam Newton, Matt Ryan. The only team that was really bad was the Buccaneers. Those three teams, or those three quarterbacks, the NFC South was one of the better ones. Now it's
And the sad part is, I look at the teams, and you really didn't have a quarterback situation going on with the Buccaneers during that timeline. Like you said, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees. Bucks didn't really have that guy at quarterback. Now they have that guy, but the rest of the team's falling apart. Mike Evans is what's he going on his 11th year in the season or 11th
still pretty
season in his
dangerous
career?
though. How old he is, still pretty dangerous.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
But you do feel like they're going on a decline. But the Panthers,
I feel like they're not making enough vital moves for new players, and they're not wanting people to develop. Which right now it's working out for them. Let's say 2 years from now, when they're having to develop rookies in a draft class let's just say the draft class 2 years from now isn't too hot, and they're having to get rookies in to develop, because eventually Mike Evans is going to be done. You know what I mean? Eventually, you're going to lose your tight end. Eventually, you're going to lose your receivers, your running back. Like you got to bring in the pieces to replace these people, and I don't see them doing that. I just see them getting too comfortable with what they have now, and that's going to cause issues later. And that's what I don't want the Falcons to do. I want us to build for the future, like these other teams are doing. I mean, who could have told you? If I told you 3 years ago Sam Darnold was going to go and tear it up in Minnesota, go to the playoffs, and then go to Seattle the next year and be this close to a Super Bowl, would you have believed me? No. That's what I'm talking about. You have to find the players that are going to get you where you need to be in the future, build for the future. Like, you can't just be comfortable in the present. You cannot be. You got to find the pieces. You got to find the pieces that work. And if you have to cut players, so be it. Michael Penix, I'm sorry, but if you leave, you're gone. I don't care. I need a quarterback that's confident, that can get out of the pocket. We're not in a pocket passing scenario anymore. This league does not like pocket passers. They really don't. The most successful passers are people that can get out of the pocket.
You want to run out of the pocket, but if you get like a guy like Matthew Stafford, then you'll be fine. But he can kind of move a little bit.
But look at his line. We don't have that. If you have a line that can give you time in the pocket, great.
Running
but
back.
if you have a, I mean, like speaking on Matt Ryan, right? To me, greatest quarterback in Falcon history. Don't care. Mike Vick, cool, whatever. Whatever. Do what you want with that. But the thing about it is, Matt Ryan averaged on every snap 3 seconds with the ball before he had pressure in the pocket. Like, come on. And he brought us to a Super Bowl with that issue.
Yep.
And shit, granted, we lost the Super Bowl in horrendous fashion, but he got us to a Super Bowl, got us close to winning a Super Bowl in that situation. Come on now. Build the line, give your quarterback a lifeline, get somebody that can get out, make a play, see the reads. And that's another problem with Michael Penix. He's not patient. He does not look at his reads. He sees the first read. If it's failed, second read, oh well, throws it to the dirt. That has happened so many times in his 12 starts. I'm really getting tired of it. I really am. And then you have a 56-year-old Kirk Cousins out here playing like he just got out of the nursing home and throwing it straight to the dang line.
I know we won some games with them, but they weren't pretty. They weren't.
No, they weren't. They weren't. There were games that if Kirk was as good as he tried to say himself to sell himself, if he was as good as he sold himself to us, then we wouldn't be in these scenarios of relying on Koo or relying on Parker Romo, And granted, I'm actually liking Zane Gonzalez right now.
Zane Gonzalez, baller.
I'm liking Zane Gonzalez right now. But your job is to kick a field goal. You don't have the hardest job on the field. I'm not saying field goals are easy. I'm not saying kicking's easy, but it is not the hardest job on the field. You want to talk about hardest job on the field? Let's talk to a center. You know what I mean? They are the one player that has the most contact the entire game. Cornerbacks, safeties. I mean, they're all over the field.
You got to know the dude that's facing you next. You got to know the next move. Now, played around. If you played a long time, you can learn a few things, but it's hard. Cornerback's really hard. For me, I would take Ian Cunningham, especially because, again, like I talked about before, He worked with Ozzie Newsome. Of course, he built up the Bear. Now he's assistant GM. He's not GM of the Bears right now, but he, did help out, drafting Caleb and building the team around him, signing Grady Jarrett. So I think he has an eye for talent. So I'm hoping that we sign him. But if we got Josh Williams, that wouldn't be too mad either. The 49ers, they just get players. They got Brock Purdy, the last pick of the draft, one of the better quarterbacks. They paid him a lot of money. Everybody was skeptical. Then, he played decent this year. So better than, Michael Penix or Kirk Cousins. But for me, I'll take Ian Cunningham. I think that'll be a W hire. But we should see that soon because, again, you have the press, like you said, the press conference Tuesday with Kevin Stefanski. So if they can hire GM. And I know everybody is a little skeptical, and I understand why that we hired a coach before a GM. But I guarantee you in the interviews, they told, hey, Kevin, we're either going to get these GMs or if we got this GM, do you think it'll be all right with that? They had him in the interviews. Like, if you come here, we're going to pick this GM or pick this GM. So he knows that already. But I can see why people, we've been doing the same thing where we hire a coach then a GM and they don't have really good connections. But, I mean, same thing with if you hire GM before a head coach. It's going to be the kind of same thing. So, but hopefully we'll see Josh Williams or Ian Cunningham. Hopefully they're one of those two. They had their interviews today. So hopefully we'll see very soon.
Speaking on what you just said with the whole, not having a connection with the coach between the GM, there's no telling if we would have brought Ian Cunningham in. Let's just say we hired him first. There's no telling he would have got along with Kevin Stefanski. They've never worked together. So, I mean, same for the. I mean, it's a risk every time.
You're meant to be fired, to be honest. You're going to be fired with someone. John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh is fired from the 49ers. Mike Tomlin didn't get fired, but he stepped down. This job is not going to last 30 years. You're not going unless you're Bill Belichick, who wins 6 Super Bowls, whatever. But hey, remember, Kevin Stefanski and Bill Belichick almost had the same winning percentage when they're both in Cleveland. And let me tell you this: Bill Belichick coached Cleveland before they were the Cleveland Browns. They were the Cleveland Browns, but you get what I'm saying? How bad they are. He coached them before they moved to Baltimore. All right, Baltimore Ravens. All right. And then they had to make their franchise again. So just think about that. All right, little thing to think about. Anything to add about the Falcons before we move on to those good old Atlanta Braves?
One thing, and it's really just to touch on all bases here. I think Matt Ryan knows what he's doing. And I think if we would have brought a GM first before a coach, I think it would have been a headbutt match between Matt Ryan and the GM on who they wanted. And I'm glad that he went ahead and got the coach because there's no he say, she say in the whole situation. Matt got the coach he wanted, which I believe is the guy he wanted. I mean, we wouldn't have acted so fast on it. I would hope we wouldn't have acted so fast on it if he didn't see something with Kevin Stefanski. And I don't think Matt Ryan would have acted super fast if he didn't see something,
No, I agree. So
I'm actually
good.
I'm not mad at bringing the coach in before the general manager. If they can't get along, they can't get along. So be it. Win me some games. That's all I care. Get me to the playoffs.
I really don't care who the GM is. I don't care who the coaches are. As long as you're winning, I'm happy with you. Really, to be honest with you. Again, that's your main job. You have one job. If you can't do it, out of here. Raheem Morris, Arthur Smith. All right. Sadly, Dan Quinn, after a while, right? Even one of my favorite coaches, Falcon coaches all time, Mike Smith. So, again, it's all about the X's and O's and winning football games. Again, I don't care who the quarterback is. If it's Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins, Willis, not Carson Beck though. No. Even though Georgia fans and stuff like that. But
I keep hearing along. The hallways of the social web. There's a lot of speculation of us picking up Ty Simpson in the second round. I don't know.
It's like Daniel Jones.
Well, here's the thing. Ty Simpson does have experience with Todd Reese or Tommy Reese. Yeah. He does have experience with Tommy Reese. Granted, he didn't start under Tommy Reese. Milroe was there when Tommy Reese was there, and then Ryan Grubb came in to fix the whole situation after the fact. But Ty Simpson was under Tommy Reese for at least a year. I think if we got Ty Simpson, he'd have to really show me something. And he didn't show me anything of what I wanted to see this last year in
He was
college
good.
football.
He was very good. Like after the Florida State loss, he was a Heisman favorite for like most of the year. And then I guess when they lost to who they lose, I can't think of it. We're not Alabama fans. So
Oklahoma.
it was Oklahoma. They lost to them. He just
Well, I will say Alabama has kryptonite. You know how Georgia has kryptonite with Alabama. Alabama has kryptonite with Oklahoma.
well, except beat them in the playoffs. So it's kind of like Alabama's always had kryptonite with Ole Miss, even though I know Georgia lost to Ole Miss, but they have Ole Miss sometimes will beat them. All right.
Alrighty.
All right, so that's done with the Falcons. All right, so let's move on to the Braves. All right, so Brian Snicker has retired. It's been going on for about a month or two now. We know about that. So remember, Brian Snicker brought us back from being a really poor baseball team in 2017. All right, we didn't really get good until the second year of Truist Park. Acuna came up. We are like, oh yeah, this guy is the best. Let's go.
I mean, that was one of my favorite times of Braves baseball. In between 2018 or 2019, I should say, really, because in between 2019 and 2023, I mean, I was really enjoying Braves baseball. This last season and the 2024 season really disappointed me in a way of just I don't see the Braves making the moves they need to make. I don't see the money being spent on the players they need to spend it on.
They're sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's an Atlanta organization. What else do you see out of it? I mean,
guess
come on.
too much when the Dodgers are taking everything.
So speaking of the Dodgers, let's talk about this possible 2027 lockout with the whole situation going on. Do you think there will be a lockout? If you do, how long do you think it'll last?
I kind of hope so, because I'm pretty sure the Dodgers probably go three-peat because they just got Kyle Tucker. Even though Kyle Tucker is not, he's still pretty good, but he's not in his prime like he was with the Astros. Still though, I mean, they get most of them. They get every Japanese player that's coming to the MLB. They get almost every one of them. All right. Of course, Shohei was with the Angels, but guess what? He went to the Dodgers for $15 billion. It feels like they got Freddie Freeman, our GOAT, pretty much, besides Chipper Jones, of course. All right. Just insane. I don't know why the Braves didn't sign him back because it was just insane. But Brian Snicker retired, got us our World Series ring in 2021. Beat the Astros, and the Soler home run. I saw a video on Instagram today about it. I was talking about Braves, and all of a sudden, of course, the phone listens to you, and that comes up, just brings back memories.
Going back to 2021, we came from a situation of it being, COVID had just happened. Everything was still kind of new. The season was finally back to its regular self.
Dodgers in the playoffs before.
Yeah, and and everything that had happened the year prior is what it is. We get back into the playoffs. We have the lowest chance of winning the World Series out of every team that year after Acuna went down. Had the lowest chance. I think it was less than a percent. I think it was like 0.81%.
But they're pretty low chances.
Remember, for the teams that were in the playoffs,
so we traded Soler and Eddie to get Soler and get Eddie Rosario. We weren't really a good team. In September, we stepped it up. We started winning. And then
don't forget about the Jock Peterson pickup. Jock Peterson showed up and did what he did.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Jock Peterson. How can I forget about him? Oh, my God. Am I a Braves fan at this point? Forgetting Jock Peterson? All right. So, Hog-Sog Kim, our shortstop, he's injured. He's going to be out 4 to 5 months. Do you know how he injured himself? You want to know?
Yeah, didn't he slip on ice?
Yes. Slipped on ice. And so at this point, I feel like we're cursed. We're getting we're getting the injury bugs. Ever since 2021, it's just.
Speaking of players and injuries, granted he didn't get to play because he hurt himself again. What is this? The third season Acuna has been injured with the same type of injury.
He always, when he's hit, dude, I think he's on tears ACL every time he swings the bat.
He does have a very aggressive swing.
Here's his knee, a knee supposed to be like this, right? Normal, whatever.
Yeah.
Just think of a knee. When he swings, it goes like this. I'm like, oh my God, he's about to tear his ACL again, bro. Fix your swinging. I'm not sure if it's like the way he puts his feet down into the ground to swing, or he needs to fix it.
I think it's just he's
tears ACL. I'm like, dude, stop swinging like that.
He's swung like that since he came with us, and at the same time, it's I think it's part of getting the power behind the ball for him. But at this point in time, I don't think we're going to pay him. I think we're going to cut him as a loss, do what we do. Granted, we love Acuna. Acuna will
So,
always be an Atlanta legend to me
I mean,
and to many others.
it's gonna be
But I really do see Acuna being parted ways with this offseason before the season starts.
unpopular opinion. Acuna, except for the 2018 playoffs when he hit that grand slam again against the Dodgers. Besides that, he's been a terrible playoff player. Of course, he wasn't on the team in 2021. He was injured, of course. I don't think he's that clutch when it comes to, he's clutch during the regular season. We've seen it. All
How
right,
many
with
playoff
walk-offs.
games has he actually played, though, due to injury? The last times we were in the playoffs, he was injured.
I think the last time he played was the year after we lost to the Phillies. Remember, we lost to the
Yeah.
Phillies in the playoffs.
I think so.
He couldn't hit anything. He couldn't hit water. He fell out of the boat at that point. So I don't really know. He had that great season with the 60. What was it? Was it 70, 40, 80, 40, 80 still, 70 steals, whatever it was, 40 home runs. All right. So, or was it? Forget it. Was it 60 and 50? I can't remember right now. I can't
It was
remember.
70 and something. It was definitely 70 and something.
It was 70 and 40, I want to say. Because 40 home runs, you can get to 40-40. That's what they usually mark for.
Yeah, I think it was 70
after
steals
that-
and 40 homers.
After that, again, he's been injured. He comes back very slow when he gets injured. He comes back. I know it's baseball, so you have to get back into it. But I just don't know. I don't know what you do with them. You can't. Well, you're not going to trade them because if you trade them away right now, not saying they would, people are going to be mad at you. All right. I don't really know. Walt Wise, the new manager for the Braves, going to have to figure that out with the GM with AA. All right. So they're going to have to figure out something with that. Ozzy Albies can be able to move. He was bad last season. Bad. All right.
What was his hitting average? Two
I don't know, but it was bad.
to end the season, I think it was.
He was
At one
injured
point,
too.
he was. At one point, we had a guy that I've never seen hit over 200 hitting better than him. So, I mean, come on.
Oh my God! Then we had just shorts. Again, we should have signed Dancy Swanson back too. Our shortstop room is just moving. Of course, like I said, Hong Sun Kim injury. He's gonna be out 4 to 5 months. We ain't got really nobody out there. We had to go sign a player. I forget his name right now, but we had to go sign a player for shortstop.
Unpopular opinion. Nick Allen.
Step back, even they got injured.
I mean, so think about this. Matt Olson, he did pretty decent last year, but he's still not what I thought he was going to be when he came into the organization.
And he's a low average home run hitter. Like you're hoping that most of the time he at least not once a game, but gets at least a hit or a pop up. But some games
I know his batting average wasn't the greatest, but Nick Allen came in clutch when needed, and he won.
I know you like Nick Allen, but
he won. He was single-handedly giving us opportunities to win games.
Huh? Did he have some clutch moments? I don't remember. Maybe like a couple, right?
I mean, dude, he had RBIs. Like when I went to the Yankees game last year, he had an RBI. It gave us the edge to get on to. I mean, he literally had an RBI, gave us the edge. He was on base. We were able to, go up in that game because of it.
Do you think he's a 182 game or 162? Oh my God, I'm blanking.
182. No.
162, right? 162. Yeah, 182 is NBA. Throw me off.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a game changer for 162 games? I don't think so. We need a guy like David. Austin was clutch. Adam Duvall was clutch. Freddie Freeman was clutch. Soler was clutch.
And I miss the days where we would yell Swanson every time he hit something.
I miss Swanson. You had to go to his grandpa's second favorite team. Makes no sense to me. It's like
that was the weirdest thing to say. And now he acts like he. Now, and then you got Charlie Culberson that around the same time, even though Charlie Culberson acts like he hates the Braves.
Charlie Culberson, Swanson's twin brother.
We had Charlie Culberson. We had we had Ozzy. We had Freeman. We had obviously we picked up Jock and Soler late in that season when we went to the World Series. But I mean, come on, like
Yep.
We did the right things at the right time. Where is that at now? We're not doing anything right recently. In the last 2 seasons, I haven't seen us make any big moves. I haven't seen us make any big signs. We have the money to spend. I know we have the money. Where's it
That's what
at?
makes
Why are
me
we
mad,
not
man.
spending?
Spend the money. It's baseball. There's no hard salary cap. Spend
I
the
mean, if
money.
the Dodgers can sit over here and pay a player $1 billion and reserve it till 2042,
I don't
why can't we
understand
do the
how
same?
I don't understand how we don't have revenue. We have one of the top, I'll say 5 popular like attendance attendance. Every single
You've
year
been to
top 5
Braves
attendance.
games. You've been in the stadium multiple times. And every time I'm in there, there's nowhere to
It'll
walk.
be a
Like
Wednesday.
it's
It'll be a Wednesday
filled.
game. You got about 20,000 in there.
And you got to
Wednesday
think the
game.
battery.
Yeah,
The
how
battery
the house?
brings in thousands, if not
I'm
hundreds
not
upon
sure.
thousands of
I don't know
dollars
if that's
every
the
weekend.
Braves.
The
Not
Braves
sure.
own the battery, so any revenue from the battery they get from it. They get revenue from the battery.
Oh, I don't
What?
understand it.
I mean, literally, it's one of those things. Like coming up on January 31st, they're doing the whole Braves Fest, right? They're doing the entire Braves Fest that weekend. Friday night, you can go do stuff with players. You can get autographs Friday night and all this stuff. And then those are payable tickets. Everything else is free. But when people are spending money let's say you go to like the park bench or you go to Live and Social, and you're spending money, they're getting something out of that. There's no way they're not. It was built as part of the stadium. It wasn't built as a secondary option. They
Where's that
purposely
money?
built the battery.
Where is that money?
Where is the revenue? Why if we have the revenue, why in the world are we not spending it on players? There have been multiple times where there's a player in the market that we could that is valuable to what we need in the time, and we just it's crickets. Nothing. We don't say nothing. We don't do anything. We don't make any valuable moves. We don't make any type of
Let's go
trades.
get Jose Altuve. Even the Astros, I'm not sure when he'll ever leave the Astros. Let's go get him. We're just moving to shortstop because he's second baseman. Move him to shortstop. That's what we need. Jose Altuve, come on, bring him home.
And if we do, I don't see us keeping Acuna this year because I don't think we're going to pay him.
We'll keep him this year. We'll keep him this year.
You think? I don't think we're going to pay him.
Yeah, I think we're keeping this year. Because how many years they've had? Like what? 3 more years on the contract? Because he signed to a 10-year, I think. 10-year, $100 million. So I think it's like maybe
honestly, I haven't kept up with the Braves organization in about 3 years, to be honest with you. I mean, I still watch, I still check in, I watch scores, I look at highlights, I do all that, but I haven't really kept in with the whole political side of things with them and the whole financial side of things with them. At this point in time, it's not enjoyable to watch right now. Like I can't sit there and like I went to 5 games last season.
I just have to keep up with my phone.
I went to 5 games last season and I left in the 6th inning every time. Normally I sit all the way through the night. I had found no enjoyability behind watching the Braves.
Last year was very frustrating to watch.
I mean, we went to a couple games together the season before, and it still wasn't that enjoyable.
With the 80-game suspension, 3 games of the season?
Yeah, with the whole PED situation, performance enhancement drug or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully the Braves turn it around this year. You never know. Could we win another World Series? It's baseball. Anything can happen. I mean, you had the Dodgers. You had Blue Jays almost beat the Dodgers. You had the Diamondbacks playing the Texans. I'm about to say Texans. So we're talking about the Rangers. So anything's possible. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, just a couple more things I want to get through real quick. NFL. I know we talked about the Falcons already, but I do want to go back to the championship games this year. I want to get your input, your predictions. I remember we have the Seahawks and the Rams for the NFC Championship game, which was the Falcons were in it, but whatever.
I'll give you my prediction and scores.
Then we have the Pats, and then we have the Sean Payton Broncos. God, who do we?
I'm gonna give you my prediction. I'm gonna give you my prediction and my scores. Alrighty. On the Seahawks side of things, granted, I know a lot of Georgia fans want Matthew Stafford to go do his thing. I get that, but for me, I think the Seahawks are in a position where they can't lose. They got Clint Kubiak at OC. That offense looks destructive. Their defense does their job. I mean, look at the game this past weekend. They let up 6 points. That's it. That defense was shut down all night. 41-6. Come on, like I told you, it was gonna be 35-0. You take the 6 off 41, it was 35-0 in my mind.
You're crazy for wearing that Seahawks jersey. I was like, hey, we gotta let the Blues so we get Kubiak, but that didn't really matter at that point, huh?
Yeah, I had a feeling, man. I had a feeling Stefanski was coming. So for me, I'm taking the Seahawks over the Rams. I'm saying 33-28 final score. I think the Rams will score on the Seahawks, but I think the Seahawks get the better edge on them late in the game. And with the Broncos versus the Patriots, I cannot stand the Patriots. Being a Falcons fan, I don't think anybody can. I'm going to say Broncos beat the Patriots 28-14. I've seen Drake May. He cannot hold on to the ball if the pressure's there, and I think the Broncos are going to send that pressure. And I honestly, I think in this type of moment, Drake May is going to choke it. I don't see him putting a bunch of points up, so I'm saying 28-14, even with a backup quarterback for the Broncos. I hate to say it, but I will
You said
say
the
the Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos 28-14. I hate to say it, but I do believe that the Broncos will pull it off. I think it'll be a Seahawks Broncos Super
Sean
Bowl this year.
Payton. Ugh.
I don't like Sean Payton because he was the head coach of the Saints during the Drew Brees era, and we had a very big rivalry with them. We still do, but during that was the best rivalry in my opinion. Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, like it didn't get any better than that in that moment, dude. Like go as a kid, going to
You
these
still got
games.
the winning record against y'all Aints. You still got the
Yeah.
winning record against y'all Aints.
Hey, you're saying too much. It's the visitors around here.
Oh, yeah, the visitors. That's right. Visitors
um,
can't get the,
but
yeah.
I think Sean Payton
If you
has
don't get
done
that,
it
if
in
you're
the
not a Falcons
past.
fan, if you don't get that reference, if you go to a Falcons game and the Saints are there, they don't put the Saints on the scoreboard. They put visitors if you don't get that. Go ahead, Blaze. Sorry.
I think Sean Payton's done it before, especially he had Teddy Bridgewater, and I mean he was able to win 6 games with Teddy Bridgewater straight. I think a backup quarterback's he's not used to. I think he knows what he's doing, and I think he has the right guy as a backup. And I honestly think they're going to be able to pull it off against the Patriots, especially if the defense shows up. The defense shows up, gets the pressure rates. Drake May is not going to be able to get out of pocket in time, and he's known for strip sacks this season. So I think they're going to get at least one strip sack against Drake May this. If not for a touchdown, they're going to get at least one strip sack, and that's going to give a big leverage change depending on how the game starts. But like I said, I have Seahawks Broncos going to the Super Bowl.
So a 2013 remake, or because 2013 was the Broncos Seahawks, 2014 was the Seahawks versus Patriots. So that's right. That's right. That's right.
I give me Broncos and Seahawks for sure.
I have a weird feeling.
You're going to say Patriots Rams.
I have a weird feeling that the Rams are going to win the game. I don't know why. They've just been just a pain in people's sides this year. Like
I will say it, Puka.
They're a great team, but like sometimes you're like watch a game, you're like, God, they've almost lost the Panthers. And granted, Panthers did come up with some upsets this year. That's why they call upsets. And you're just like, how are they doing this? And you got Puka Nacua making catches like that one catch that he almost made against the Falcons, like probably maybe the greatest catch of all time if he made the catch. Maybe you have beat out Odell because he's falling into the out of bounds. But I have a weird feeling that the Rams could upset the Seahawks. Would I like to see the Seahawks in the Super Bowl? Absolutely. So right now, my prediction for that game is the Rams. Let's go. It's going to be a high scoring game. Let's go 35. Let's do 38-35 Rams.
You got it as a field goal.
And then moving on to the Denver Broncos and the Patriots. I have a weird feeling about this one, but not as weird because backups seem to thrive in these moments. Don't understand, except for the Brock Purdy when he got injured against the Eagles. They pretty much gave him the win that time. But like the defense for the Broncos is elite. But you also have to think that the England defense is also pretty good, even though we almost beat them. No, we didn't because he missed field goal. But whatever, that's in the past. Of course, Drake May, MVP candidate, could be the MVP winner. All right. You could get the top two MVP candidates in the Super Bowl. All right. Even though I hate to say this, I do have the Patriots making the Super Bowl. Boston's the luckiest state for sports I've ever seen in my life. You remember the Celtics, they have, is it 18 championships now? Red Sox, they have won multiple World Series ever since the 2000s. Patriots, of course, won a bunch of Super Bowls, one against us, sadly. I just don't. They're just like the gotta be the luckiest fan base of all time. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be the luckiest city. But I do have the Patriots and the Rams. Let's hope it's not as boring as that one. Remember that one, 2018?
Yeah.
And
what was it? 10-3 final score.
It was like
That's the
13 to
year
10.
that the Saints or the visitors supposedly got cheated out, which they did. That was a bad no call. They definitely got cheated out in that game.
28 to 3 us. Haha. Missed defensive pass interference on y'all guys. Hey, Minnesota Miracle suckers. All right. But I do have the Rams and the Patriots and the Super Bowl. And once we get to the Super Bowl, we'll predict the Super Bowl, of course. Rams, Patriots, and you said Seahawks and Broncos. So we're opposite. So we can both be wrong, or we can half be right. We can all be right. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So it should be exciting. We live in Georgia, so we might actually get to see the game if the power's out, if it's icy outside. So it's a little chaotic. You want to add anything to the NFL before we move on to the last segment of the show?
No, but I do want to add one thing. How do you feel about Indiana winning the national championship this year? That's what I wanted to touch on college football a little bit.
She loves Fernando Mendoza, so I was excited for her. That's her favorite player, this year won it. Super nice guy. Now Indiana does have 35 to 40-year-olds on their team, grown men. Hey, Miami was also with the 24, 25-year-old quarterback in Carson Beck, so I can't really dog them too much.
I'm very happy that Miami got to witness what Georgia had to deal with the Carson Beck era. I pretty much called that he would throw an interception to end the game.
Only fitting that the two Miami games I watched this year, one against Louisville, he threw 4 interceptions, really 5 interceptions, threw a pick to end the game. And then at the end of the national championship game, he throws another pick, and that's his career. Just the wildest thing ever. It couldn't fit Carson Beck any better that he threw a pick. At first, I thought it was actually going to be caught. I don't lie. The dude looked wide
last
open.
Year, dude, with Georgia, man, it felt like he was averaging 2 interceptions a game.
Carson Beck's got a noodle arm, bro. He can't throw that ball deep at all. But Indiana,
dude, it looked like he short-armed it so bad, that throw. He short-armed it so bad.
But my personal opinion, college football is just being ruined by NIL, transfer portal. Now,
I do believe they're going to put a restriction to it because
yes, a little bit, because now we can. Do you know that they're about to put advertisements on their jerseys? You know that?
Yeah, baseball. I do see that. The college baseball is about to be putting patches on the jersey.
Well, MLB does it already, because we have that.
Well, yeah, because the Quikrete on the Braves jerseys.
Well, now NFL players are not NFL college players will put the advertisement on the jersey. So I'm like, oh Lord. But I would never have thought in my entire life. You said, hey, Ty, Indiana's going to win the national championship. I said, oh, basketball? Yeah, I can understand that. No, football. I'll be like, yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, Louisville probably won the one before they do. We have top 5 teams before. Yes, did we finish top 5? No, but we have had top 5 teams before. I would say we won one before Indiana. Nope. But now that players make money, you can pay these players millions of dollars. All right. Of course you're a Georgia fan. Giving them fast cars, they want to act stupid on the road. But
I will say in this new playoff scenario, we are 1-5 in in the teams that hold a bye week, or 1-4, something like that. That Indiana is the only team to win off of a bye week coming into the college football playoffs. And
if you're the
Georgia,
Dodgers, same thing with baseball. I would never want to skip the wild card. You want to play in the wild card because you get hot. You get hot. Football now not as momentum based, because football games, are different. There's so many different things that go. Baseball is a simple game.
So let's talk about something that was very intriguing to me, and they ended up getting destroyed. Tulane. I think it was Tulane or Texas Tech, one of those two teams. Their head coach decided no contact practices until the game. He didn't want to risk any injuries, and he said that his way or no way, he wanted to prove that his way could work. Do you think it worked or no? Because both of those teams got completely obliterated. I mean, I wouldn't say Texas Tech got obliterated, but they lost. Not Texas Tech. It was Tulane, and who else was the other? No, it was JMU, James Madison. James Madison I think it was James Madison. They went in and did a no contact practice. Like, that's not a good idea, to be honest with you. Like, how are you doing no contact practices getting ahead of a big bowl? Like, it was a bowl game or a playoff game. Like, how are you getting involved in a playoff game and you're not doing contact at practices? Like 30 days, or it wasn't as long for them. It was like 19, I think it was. You had allowed 15 days of practice in between that period of time, and you're telling me you did 15 days of non-contact practice? Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Dumbest thing.
Yep. All right.
It was either James Madison or Tulane. I can't remember which one it was. I know Tulane got the brakes beat off of them, but
Well,
but
that offense
goes to
went
show
off,
you.
or they just couldn't go score points. The offense actually was really good against Ole Miss. They just couldn't score any points. All right, Blaze. So we got through everything we need to get through. Falcons, Braves, the NFL. Talked about some college football, which is fine. That's fine. Hey, college football is always fun to talk about. So I got one trivia question today, but it has multiple answers to it. All right. Let's see how many you can get. All right. There's two ways you can get them right. All right. One is easier than the other way. Okay. So the question is, who are the top 5 players with the most touchdowns in Atlanta Falcons history, not counting quarterbacks?
Not counting quarterbacks?
Yes. You can go in any order you want. You don't have to go with the top person. I'm not expecting you to know the top person. Maybe you should know who it is.
Oh, man.
But
this is hard for me because,
get right.
I don't keep up with stats like that.
Let's say you're limited to 3 incorrect answers. Sound good?
Alrighty.
Top 5.
Give me Julio Jones. Has got to be up there. He's got to be.
Julio Jones is one. Can you guess how many touchdowns he has?
I couldn't tell you if you asked me again.
Just give a number.
I mean, it's over 100, right?
No.
Is it close to 100?
You think most wide receivers, some do reach 100, but most of them don't.
I'm gonna say like 73.
You're close. 61. 61.
Okay, so I was high still.
All right. So you're 1 for 1 here. You got the correct part. You got one of the correct people. So you're 1 for 1. That counts as a correct answer. Even though you got the number wrong, you still correct.
I'd like to say it, but I'm not sure. I would like to say Michael Turner, but I'm not 100% sure.
You're right. All right. You're right. Michael Turner is correct. Can you guess how many Super Bowls he's won? He's above Julio Jones.
Super Bowls.
No, sorry. How many touchdowns? Sorry. He's
above Julio?
Like, technically, he's above Julio. Technically.
62?
No, 61. I was trying to give you a hit there. So I said, technically on this list I got, he's above, but they're even. They got 61 both.
Okay.
Right? So 2 for 2. That one wrong. Let's go.
Gonzalez, I don't think he had that many, so I'm not going to say Tony Gonzalez.
He went on our team well, he's on our team for a little bit, but he won like a career course.
Yeah, I had a feeling Michael Turner was going to be there. You got to put. I mean, you have to put
Turner.
Are we going like back in the day too, like old school?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. I'm not sure if Devin Hester really had a bunch of touchdowns.
No.
He was a kick return. He was great at kick.
1-2 years. He wasn't on our team that much. Think about players that were on our team for a while.
On our team for a while. Is Roddy White up there? He has to be up there. Roddy White has to be top 5.
He's number 1.
Number 1. I mean, I'm gonna say he's got a big jump on the rest of them. I'm gonna say he's got 83.
Not 83. You got the last number right.
Okay, 73. 63.
63 touchdowns. Yes. All right. So he leads. He's got the most Falcon touchdowns in Falcon history. Of course, not a quarterback because Matt Ryan's got the most, 381.
Give me Harry Douglas.
Not Harry Douglas. That's one incorrect answer. That's one.
So what I got Julio Jones, Roddy White, Michael Turner. God, it's so hard once I get past this.
Yeah, Roddy White, Michael Turner. You got the top 3. You got the last 2 that you need to get.
So they're less than 60.
All right, I'll give you a hint for one of them. All right.
Give me like a year.
I'm going to give you a hint. You got to think. All right. Dog. Not Georgia Bulldog. Dog. This person's. That's a hint for you. A dog.
You said not quarterback, so I can't say Michael Vick.
No, we're not talking about that.
You said dog. I mean,
dog.
So dog.
Bulldog. A bulldog.
A bulldog.
That we knew.
Bulldog. What, Fresno State?
No. It's an actual bulldog.
Oh, Andre Rison.
Andre Rison. There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't get the reference, guys. we had a bulldog named Ryzen. So that's Andre Rison. Can you guess how many he has? He has less than Julio, which is and Michael Turner, who's at 61. Can you guess?
57.
Oh, close, 56.
Oh, okay.
56. All right. So you got 1, 2, 3. And even though I know Michael Turner and Julio were kind of the same, you got 1, 2, 3. You're missing the fourth one.
Fourth one. Give me a time frame. Like when was this dude on the team?
90s.
The 90s. Oh my
Why
God.
is the team there in the 90s?
Man, I want to say Terrence Mathis so bad, but I know he's not on there.
Vote your gut, man. Vote your gut. Vote your gut.
Give me Terrence Mathis. I still have 2
You're
more.
correct. Yes, Terrence Mathis. Yes. Can you guess how many touchdowns he's got?
He's got more than
Andrew Rison, but he's got less. So you got
give me
Julio's
59.
Huh?
59.
Not 59.
58.
Nope.
60.
Nope.
57.
57, man. 57. So
See,
yeah,
I don't keep up with the stats like that, but I mean, I was just going down the list. As soon as you said 90s, the only thing I wasn't born in the 90s. I didn't watch football in the 90s, but our dad's favorite player is Terrence Mathis. So I mean,
yeah. So we got Roddy White, 63. Michael Turner, Julio at 61. Michael Turner at 61 as a running back. That's great. Terrence Mathis, 57. Andre Rison with 56. All right, so you did great. Good job. Good job. You only got one. You only got one wrong answer. Can't talk right now.
I won't lie. Without the hint, I think I would have got around to Andre Rison, but he was not on the top of my head. Definitely was not on the top of my head. I had a couple other players in mind, but then I started thinking, no, Sanu was a great player, but he didn't have that many touchdowns, and I started really thinking into it. Dang, I could have sworn that's crazy because Andre Rison and Terrence Mathis, I mean, they were both 90s, and it's I could have sworn we had. There has to be somebody from the 80s that has at least 40-something up there.
They're during the 80s, bro, or 70s. Our offenses, besides Steve Parkowski being our quarterback, our offenses weren't that great.
Now, if you want to talk about throwing touchdowns, give me Matt Ryan.
I'll tell you, he's got the most. Yeah, he was on the team the longest.
But yeah, well, I think we covered everything, man. I had a great time on the podcast. Hopefully people enjoy it. And great first podcast to start off the season over podcast. We were missing a guy today. Hopefully we can get him on and get some more intake. But I mean, I appreciate the time and the effort put behind everything.
Tomorrow, Falcons fans, we got a Pats fan that's going to be a guest. All right. So he's going to talk about the Pats. All right. He's going to tell us his predictions. All right. He's also a Braves fan, so he got some Atlanta. All right. Maybe talk about he's a Clemson fan, so hopefully we'll talk about some Clemson stuff as well because that's always fun. ACC. Maybe we talk about some more college tomorrow. But yeah, great.
We can get into college. Tomorrow we can get into college basketball. I've been really keeping up with it right now. Arizona's on fire.
Hopefully Louisville wins tomorrow against Virginia Tech.
Georgia's not looking bad. Georgia's not looking bad at all right now. There's definitely still a chance in there. I mean, we've lost a couple games that I wish we wouldn't have lost, especially to Florida, because as a Georgia fan, I can't not stand Florida. And yeah, so we can get into some college basketball, get into a little bit extra things on some outside source teams, and just get the ball rolling with everything. I think it'll be a great season coming up, and I think the more we hear about Stefanski, the more we'll get happy, or the more we'll learn, and I think the more confident we'll become behind our new coach. And if there's one thing I've learned, you need to stand behind your coach, unless his name is Arthur Smith. Stand behind your coach.
All right, guys. So this has been the Season Over podcast. Again, we will try to do every Friday and some Saturdays if we can get schedule on going on Saturdays because we both got normal jobs because of course YouTube's paying yet. But hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, leave any comments. We can discuss some things. Me and Blaze will be both in the YouTube comment section answering to you. If you have any questions or any trivia questions you'd like us to answer next time, maybe we can quiz each other. So yeah, hope you enjoy the podcast. Again, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.